Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. 32 million brothers and sisters, non-resident Indians, PIOs. Those are outside country. We are the link, we are the confluence, and we are the podlock. And we all get together, share the vision with each other. And same thing goes for the Indian corporate houses and education ecosystem as well. On behalf of Chamber for Service Industry, we extend you another powerful evening, and I have got a very distinguished, young, smart, dynamic Mr. Vikram Kukreja, the founder, TBH Circle. To be honest, circles, that's what I learned from him in a wonderful way. He's into corporate training, and he is at present, what I learned is in Delhi. We will discover more. We will have some more unveiling. And starting this evening with Eid Mubarak, may Allah send his love like sunshine in his warm and gentle ways to fill everybody's, the corner of your heart and fill your life with a lots of happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, this special series, what we have started, of course, during the pandemic, we have done 3,000 plus webinars, but this particular series is dedicated to how Indian tourism, hospitality, aviation, and all the related industries directly, indirectly, because tourism cuts across almost all sectors of the economy. So how it would look like, and that is the way we started from 9th of April. We are moving ahead. We are talking about policy, planning, product, services, marketing, innovative packaging, SWOT analysis, socio-economic impact, cultural impact, environmental impact, employment generation, how technology is seeping in very fast, how the education is shaping up, and how the skills, the competencies, the micro, small, and medium enterprise, because most of the travel agents, tour operator, tourist transporter, everybody. And during this particular process, we are also going to work out the global networking strategies. We will focus on MICE, wellness tourism, medical tourism, cinematic tourism, niche tourism, all the areas which are emerging in a big way. You will have a lot of experts coming every day, every evening. And as a humble learner, I wish to learn from each one of them. As we all are aware of, that the Chamber for Service Industry brought India's first finishing school for service industry way back in 1994. And with pandemic, we have also moved to digital inspirational lab. You would be meeting various association heads. You will have the legends of the tourism, hospitality, aviation, and related services. Lots of NRIs, those are into this ecosystem, will also be the part of it. Global technocrats would be coming. We'll have the case studies and we'll have the practical life experiences. Basic aim and objective is, let's present a blueprint, the bouquet and the boutique, which comes over there, 2047, how India would be. Of course, the tourism comprises of various things. I'm not getting into the detail. Let's not take a time. Here is the legend and dawn of the Indian tourism when you talk about Shri Amitabh Kanji, the former, the gentleman associated with Kerala, God's own country. And thereafter, he moved on to, and we had Incredible India when he was with the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And thereafter, the CEO, Niti Aayog, and then the G20 Sherpa, Mr. Amitabh Kanji. That is the way it was worked out. The former CEO of Niti Aayog and the gentleman who dreams tourism, who thinks tourism, who breathes tourism. And he says, and that is the endorsement, that tourism alone can give the shape to the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the economic multiplier to the country and the employment, entrepreneurship, and startups. We are going to have 108 episodes, क्योंकि किसी भी माला में 108 मन के होते हैं, रुद्राक्ष होते हैं. Body has got 108 energy pathways, and the mantra can only develop its full effect after 108 times repetition. That's what we have told. So yoga, meditation, naturopathy, Ayurveda, whatever you can think of, along with the wellness tourism and sustainable tourism, we are going to move ahead and let's take the vision with Mr. Vikram Kukreja, the founder of the TBH Circle this evening. Join me in extending a very warm welcome. Pleasure to have him. What a pleasure, Mr. Vikram Kukreja, to have you with us this evening. Today is the second day. We had yesterday Dr. Subhash Goyal, another legend of the Indian tourism, who gave the total profile of tourism, hospitality, aviation. Today, we wish to have your wisdom, share your knowledge and your intellectual capital with the global fraternity. How do you look at and how do you wish to shape Indian tourism, hospitality, aviation, and related industry so that we become basically the flagship by 2047? Ladies and gentlemen, we present Mr. Vikram Kukreja.
Right. Thank you, first of all, Dr. Sharma, for having me here. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to the Chamber for Service Industries as well. And it is my pleasure being here, first of all, under your tutelage. Such a senior gentleman, first of all, who has dedicated his entire career to hospitality, tourism, and in various fields and dimensions, and so many verticals around. Whatever I have, sir, I will try and do my best in this part of my 12 to 13 years of experience in the industry and what the Gen Z probably thinks. And I can certainly bring the opinion from that perspective, a lot of youth perspective. So let me also quickly take 30 seconds to brief what we do and who we are. So as Mr. Sharma, Dr. Sharma also introduced me. My name is Vikram Kukreja. I take care of an organization called TBH Circle. We started in the vision of 2020 when while I was in Europe itself, working there professionally. And that was the time we realized that how tourism was getting affected due to pandemic. And one of the major parts we saw was certainly the industry being affected, the hotels and everything. But we were very few who focused that how are students being affected out of it. And to my realization, the students were the most dilapidated in the conditions, and they were in a very rickety condition, to be said. And there came our vision to start something, an organization which could really help in true sense. That is why the name also strives to say, to be honest, circle. And that is where we started, we initiated the entire process, and we came as a bold movement to initiate industry expert knowledge, what we had, what our fellow colleagues and mentors had, to bring that on one platform, and we called it To Be Honest Circle. At this point of time, we have trained almost 20,000 plus students and industry professionals working in hotels at the moment or in corporates in any sector. And a very important thought which comes to my mind when we talk about tourism and hospitality, I believe we kind of underestimate what tourism stands for, or hospitality in particular stands for. And this actually brings me to a very sad part also, that we as individuals of hospitality sometimes try and demean it too much. I believe it is such a beautiful industry, and it has taught me a lot. Wherever I am today, I stand of the notion that I have learned a lot in my career through this. I would have not been what I am today because of hospitality. But I have, on the same side, I have seen and ventured into conversations. I have met gentlemen and ladies where I have understood the conversation and came to a conclusion that a lot of people also demean the industry a lot. And I say, वो हिंदी में एक कहावत है कि जिस चीज ने आपको कमा के दिया, उस चीज को अगर आप नीचे करेंगे तो fruitfulness नहीं है उसमें. And that is where my thought also comes from, that the industry is wonderful. It teaches you amazing experiences. And that is what we constructed TBH Circle for, to impart that vision, the right skills, the right soft skills, the right hospitality acumen, the right luxury experience, personalized experience our guest and anyone in the industry could take from. And I believe that whether you move into hotels, whether you move to aviation, whether you move into hospitals, whether you move to sales and marketing, whether you move to any of the industry, even HR, and a lot of people will disagree that HR mein kya kaam hai yaar hospitality ka. I think everywhere and anywhere, to my understanding and my belief and my experience, I could say there is no industry which is untouched by hospitality professionals. And we are the most highest in demand. And let me quote a fact here that we did a survey ourselves. We conduct some surveys also, and we conducted a survey of some hospitality and industry professionals from corporates like Deloitte, Accenture, and these were some senior leadership people we are talking about, and 81 hiring managers included in that from different industries. And we came to know that there were almost all of these people said that we hire and prefer 67% of hospitality professionals in some or the other sector of our work experience and our industry. And that was amazing to know. Why? Because hospitality teaches you such skills. Wherever you go, you will be required. And to add, especially if anyone who's under the age group of 30 listening to me and planning to do so, or if you have children, grandchildren, or anyone around you, this could be the best industry to flourish in 2047 by the time. And that is a too long of a vision, I would say, rather. If you look at 2024, it is almost becoming 20% growth every quarter, not even annual. Every quarter, 20% growth in hospitality industry, one to note. Second, a very interesting thought to bring to the table is that by 2047, we will become 1 trillion industry, especially in tourism. And that is so amazing. And by 2030, we will have more than 80 lakh jobs which will be brought to the table. And these are some facts I am quoting from Niti Aayog itself, so I have not made them up. they are factual figures which the not only the government but also the industry experts quote. And with my experience, I can definitely say I have been working with the Indian hospitality industry from last good 12 plus years now. And I see that there is an upsurge of demand of jobs. We all know. We all are aware that there is a great inclination. You go to any hotel, you go to any sales job. I go to corporates to train people. We have an entire team which goes to corporates. Like you go to facility management, you go to corporates like Google. We train at some of the fancy brands like Itilites, also travel and tourism internationally and nationally. And we have observed that hospitality graduate and experienced professionals are demanded everywhere. And here is the problem which comes, and this is the catch in the entire scenario. Now, the entire Skill India report, or whether you check United Nations report, they differ on their statistics, and I also differ on my statistics with them. I believe almost 80+% of youth graduating are underskilled. And that is a fact I say with a lot of research. I say it with a lot of understanding where we go. We work with a lot of institutes of hospitality in India, some of the top best institutes, name it IHMs, whichever you pick, I think we will be almost present there. You pick any of the hospitality firms or one of the best corporate let me say organization to pick, and we will be working with some skill sets or sales and negotiations or leadership skill sets to develop their soft skills and leadership skills around. And this is something sad to bring, that such a huge 80% of people are underskilled. And why is that? There are different analytics to it. There are different suggestions what people portray, that the industry is not giving anything, that uh, this person is not doing anything, that our education system is bad, that is bad, industry professionals are not doing anything. But end of the day, we need to understand that it is a holistic game. If we keep on doing a blame game like politicians, which I am sorry to quote, and I am too candid at my conversations sometime, I may be held for this, but so it be. That we need to come together. We need to understand if 2047 vision needs to be fulfilled. We also need to understand that 80 lakh plus job by next 10 years, or not even 10, sorry, 6 years rather, to
Mm.
correct myself. In next 6 years, it is very difficult to achieve. We would not have skilled people, one. We will not have people who can really create that personal experience. We will not have people who will be able to sell stuff. And I am sure, Dr. Sharma, you will agree with me here. आप हॉस्पिटैलिटी में एक वेटरन हैं, आपने इंडस्ट्री देखी है, होटल्स देखे हैं, यू हैव सीन द वर्ल्ड अराउंड. And this brings me to the conversation with one of the ex-general manager of an area director of one of the top reputed hospitality firms, where he said, "Yeah, Vikram, if we start analyzing this very carefully," I quote him on this, that when we were in the industry, luxury and personalization was at this level. At this point of time, it has dropped by drastically 70 and 60%, I would say. And that is huge. And why does that happen? One, this digital world, I love it. It has got so many pros, like what we are doing right now. We are connected to the world, we are talking, we are having a conversation. And I would not be sure, would there be an opportunity so quick to connect with everyone and anyone around the world at a snap of your fingers. But that is the advantage. And the disadvantage also is that this generation, this especially Gen Z and Gen Y, is so much involved in the social platforms that it kind of breaks the real interpersonal skill structure to it. They can absolutely talk to the virtual world on Instagram, on YouTube, and everything, but you put them in a group of 55. Bingo, they fail. And why is that? The area of communication fails drastically. And if again, let me bring this and point this out, if we want to envision 47 as the year of globalization for India, in especially the tourism sector, and that vision of our Prime Minister and other leaders to say, then we will have to work around the skill development part of our youth. And that is where we also came in picture, and we really take this as one of our leading factors. I believe that education has to be fun. And हम इसको तो बचपन से सुनते आ रहे हैं कि यार play with education. But I do not know where is that play still. I am still finding out in the holes and pit holes of Indian education system somehow. There is a lot of conversations around it, which happens every time, every now and then, whether it's anyone and everyone. And I feel, unfortunately, we have not been able to implement it very factually. It is still in process, and it will take maybe 20 years from now. So 47 vision looks amazing, lot of job creation, but are we ready for that jobs? Are we ready to create that personalization effect? Are we ready to create that luxury effect? Because we want business. And for business, we need to learn how to get it. One, we need to learn how to establish that business for a longer duration, for a long term, lambi race ka ghode kaise bane, and how to make sure that these people learn and project that knowledge on the shop floors in the right manner. And there it comes, the training and development part once again. वो हम कहते हैं ना कि एक छोटी सी, मेरे फादर used to recite me a story where he used to say there were three poor people, and by mistake the king did something wrong with them, and he gave them an opportunity. Chalo yaar, you ask me for something for life, I will give you whatever you ask for. And one gentleman says, give me a piece of land so big that I can live for my entire, like many generations, 100 generations could live on that. Okay, he said, granted. The second guy said, give me so much gold and money and jewels that my entire house, my relative's house, can be filled up with it. And that was all for me. And he said, okay, granted. Then the third poor guy asked and said, give me education for now. I want to learn, grow, and get trained. And there came, he said, granted. Whatever you want to read, how much you want to read for lifetime. फिर एक दिन अचानक से उस राज्य में, in that entire kingdom, came the flood and drought again, and everything hit together. Pandemic, COVID, whatever you can think of, and everything got destroyed. That jewels got destroyed, that land got destroyed, people died, but his education stayed, his training stayed, and there he became one of the ministers of the king. And voila, he still survives. We do not remember people who were rich. I really don't. Every day the world top changes. Sometimes it's Adani, sometimes it's Abani. How does it matter? But I think we do remember people who were highly educated, who transformed the world. And right leaders are right educationists. And I have a very humble corner, and my entire family comes with an education background. I never thought I will enter into education and training. But I'm also a little disgruntled on that part, that education has now become a business. But business first. I am not saying business is wrong, but I believe that it has become business first and education second. And it needs to reciprocate. Education first and business second. And once that happens, I believe there will be a start and fire of change. We need to really understand that. Corporates need to understand that. We as educationists need to understand that. We as industry leaders, mentors, everything, everyone needs to understand that. And that is high time we understand that if we wish to pursue the vision of 2047.
Wonderful, wonderful. What an amazing insight what you have given. And I'm so very happy when you touched on the point. Education should have fun. Education should have humor. Education should be joyful. Learning should be something with curiosity. Everything, when you talk about those elements in a very humble way, along with our non-resident Indians, we brought the first finishing school, the dance, with the music, with painting, with happiness, with all that happening for the service industry. Wonderful. You mentioned also about communication. And that has also become a very important element. Children, certain people are very good at their technical skills, but they can't express themselves. They can't even tell about themselves who they are. Who am I? that they find difficulty. So I think you have touched every point so well. Let's give two messages from your side, one for the industry and one for the students. Industry, what would you like to share with? And as far as the younger generation is concerned, I'm a tech savvy. I believe strongly that we should make optimum use of technology. If it is available to us, 24 hours is common, which God has given to all of us. It doesn't make a difference. You're in Canada, you're in Australia, you're in America, you're in Delhi, or you're somewhere else. It doesn't make. How do you make of those 24 hours, and how do you make best use of technology? That is something very important. And education, the reciprocal part which you told, let business take a second stage, and education, need-based education, making education relevant to our life, that is also fantastic. Something splendid what you're given. So let's give a finale from your side. What would you like to tell the corporate sector? Because we know the challenge is there. We know the difficulties are there. Every day when I get up, last 40 years, when I look at the whole thing, Mr. Kukreja, 1988, 89, with my entire team, I'm thankful to all of them and my gratitudes to them. When I drafted the MBA tourism program for entire country while being on deputation with the Ministry of Tourism,
Right,
I
sir.
realize the change has to come correspondingly with the time. Flexibility got to be there. By the time, with all the academic council, you bring a change in the syllabi, it becomes obsolete or obsolescent because things are changing so fast. So, is it academics or is it skills? Is it skills or is it competencies? Is it competencies or is it talent? I wish to have your vision because you are into the corporate training and all these children, the students to whom you are helping them. So give me first the corporate perspective. What change do you want in that? They got to understand ho kya raha hai. And students, because I've been given a little kind of a painful statement that admissions are reducing in hospitality institutions.
Hmm.
So, what is your intake and what is your message to the corporate sector as far as my service industry is concerned, and of course, hospitality, tourism, airlines? And what would you like to tell the youth this evening? These two things I would love to have from you because you're young, you're handsome, you're dynamic, and you mentioned that your entire family is dedicated to human resources development. I'm so very happy to hear that. And fortunately, you are into the same profession. Share your vision onto these two perspectives.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for this question. Sounds very interesting and mind-boggling to me, rather, because there are so many verticals to touch. I think this 30 minutes or 40 minutes of session would be so incomplete to all do that. And I am sure I will not be able to justify everything in these 30, 40 minutes. But I would be very happy to do something for the education sector in case of hospitality is concerned, because I might not be the finest person, and you don't have to be the finest, I believe, to change something. You just have to have the right vision. And to have the right vision, you need to have the right passion. And I enjoy what I do. I get up every morning and I have real fun in my work. एंड पता नहीं ये मैं तो एजुकेशन मैंने जैसे बताया माय एंटायर फैमिली रन्स थ्रू एजुकेशनिस्ट्स एंड फॉर्चुनेटली आई केम इनटू दिस job and I am very thankful to the almighty as well for this, that I can change lives of people who really dream for a great career. And I have been a student myself. I have been into corporates myself, and I understand how corporate students and everyone who's looking for a growth in their career trains and wants to be trained. And it is a huge responsibility on our shoulders to really have that. And इंडिया में टीचिंग बिजनेस को ना बड़ा डिमोरलाइज और डीमोटिवेट करा गया. कुछ नहीं आता यार, टीचर बन जा. मेरे को कुछ नहीं हो रहा था, मैं टीचर बन गया. और यहीं आप यूरोप में जाओ, इनफैक्ट किंडरगार्टन टीचर seems to be the one who is most highly educated. That teacher is 100% envisioned to flourish these children and bloom them into individuals for future, leaders for future. And that is where we came to our flagship program, because you were talking about a finding and finishing school. And we came for a program for these young professionals only, who are graduating or just in the first year of their professional career. And we named it as Young Leaders Bootcamp. Because leadership is not about the first step, and we got it patent क्योंकि हमें पता था कि भैया ये प्रोग्राम हिट करेगा लाइफ में. हमने इसको अपना पेटेंट बनवा लिया कि भाई यंग लीडर्स बूट कैम्प, दी YLB हैज टू बी आवर थिंग. And we very profoundly and with a lot of happiness say this, and a lot of pride I will take, that we have been able to impact, we have been able to change more than 20K students' life all across, and 2000 students plus trained under that program from last 3 years. And it is an amazing thing to do. And when
Wonderful.
students and young professionals call us saying that sir मेरी तो नौकरी लग गई,
Ah.
एंड मेरी इतनी अच्छी नौकरी लग गई, उससे अच्छी फीलिंग तो आप समझते हैं कि एजुकेशनिस्ट के लिए कुछ हो ही नहीं सकती. मतलब दैट इज अ फीलिंग टू डाई फॉर. Coming back to your point, sir, where you said कि ट्रेनिंग इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों है, एंड यू माइट हैव टू रिपीट वन और टू क्वेश्चंस ऑफ योर्स. आई एम सॉरी बिकॉज I listened to you, tried and listening to you very carefully, but there were so many questions, I kind of missed a few. But I will try and touch as much as I can, but you can add whenever you need, please. Pardon me for this as well. And the first thing which comes to my mind, so we constructed a very new and very recently we did a program for soft skilling doctors. And that was the most interesting and challenging thing I had in me. And we conducted this for one of the hospitals. And we believe that is where the challenge came. The empathy. We talk about these words so strong, so regularly that we feel your empathy. Stand in somebody's shoes. No, that is not true. Until unless you have witnessed it, until unless you have gone through that phase and dynamics, you cannot empathize. Sorry. आपको चोट लगेगी, मेरे को पेन नहीं फील हो सकता. आई एम सॉरी. मैं समझ सकता हूं, आई कैन ट्राई, आई कैन एंटिसिपेट हाउ इट कुड बी, बट आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू फील दैट. For that, you need to understand the gravity behind the situation. And there is a lot. So while training these doctors, we came and constructed a small story where we said that, yeah, why are doctors so sad sometimes? Not the education doctors, but the real, real doctors who operate you with a knife and everything. Not knife, sorry, but their instruments. And it was so, and we did a real time study where we visited almost 50 plus doctors in the city of Delhi NCR, and we figured out that everybody was the same. हेलो, कैसे हैं? बैठिए, आप ठीक हैं? Sad. And then I met one of the doctors, and he was also the same. कैसे हैं आप? Hmm. 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 And I was horrified that what is this? Why the patients cannot be treated as guests? And then we found, and we wanted to tell them that why do you not keep a smile? It is, I understand that for doctors it is such a small thing कि आपको बुखार है, आपको एक कैनुला लगनी है, आपको एक जरा सा इंजेक्शन लगना है. But for the doctor side, if you see and empathize, he has seen more than what you are going through. So he is okay with it. But if you see the patient side, that is where the doctors need to be empathetic. If you see the patient side, he's very agile, he's very tender. He for him, an injection is also a big deal.
Absolutely.
Right. And that is where it brings me to the thought why he cannot just say, अरे कुछ नहीं अभी ठीक हो जाएगा, ये तो छोटा सा है. Just subduing the entire situation. Or when the patient enters in, hello, good afternoon, and how is your life? यार बड़े स्मार्ट लग रहे हो आप, आज तो आपकी रिफ्लेक्शन भी बड़ी अच्छी है. Some non-physical comments towards his personality, towards his attire, towards his aura could actually lead to making the entire thing very good. And this will not only make the patient fan of the doctor, but also will make a repeat clientele and business for him. And this is just not for doctors, I believe. Whether you work in HR, hospitality, tourism, aviation, doctor, hospitals, XYZ, where there is a client and let me say client and the service providers or interaction between client and the service provider. Bingo, it works. But why is it so difficult to understand? That is where, again, quoting the ex जनरल मैनेजर, यार हम पर्सनलाइजेशन और कम्युनिकेशन भूल चुके हैं. कम्युनिकेशन अंग्रेजी बोलना नहीं है. आप हिंदी में भी वार्तालाप करें, बट उस भाषा के प्रयोग से. और अभी मैं एक 12th फेल करके मूवी थी, जनाब ने भी देखी होगी, एंड उसमें बड़ा अच्छे से कहा, कहता है यार सर भाषा अंग्रेजी तो एक मीडियम है बोलने का, बस अपने विचारों को दूसरे के पास प्रकट करने का. चाहे आप हिंदी में वार्तालाप करें चाहे अंग्रेजी में करें, हाउ डज इट मेक अ डिफरेंस? एंड देयर ही सेड, ये आप एक्सक्यूज बना रहे हैं. कहते नहीं, आई कैन प्रूव इट टू यू. ये ग्लास है, मेरे को नहीं कांच के ग्लास में पीना है, मेरे को स्टील के ग्लास में पीना, कांच के तो मेरे को समझ ही नहीं आता. एंड देयर ही पॉइंटेड आउट सेइंग, मैम अगर पानी साफ होना चाहिए ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता है वो इंग्लिश में बोले या हिंदी में बोले? अफसर साफ होना चाहिए अंदर से. दी आईएएस ऑफिसर शुड बी क्लीन इनफ whether he speaks in English or Hindi, irrespective. And that was such a wonderful statement which resonates till date with me. And we fail to understand that communication is more complex, like a chess game, than we think of. And corporates need to understand this.
मैंने पिक्चर देखी नहीं है कि, लेकिन आपके कहने पे देखूंगा जरूर.
बहुत जनाब, it's a wonderful movie to watch. I think it should be deemed free of cost and run on televisions and everywhere around, and government should sponsor it. जैसे बहुत सारी चकदे वकदे को भी मिला था ऐसा कुछ, है ना?
एक बड़ा पावरफुल कम्युनिकेटर है नीदो क्यूबेन.
अच्छा जी.
क्यूबेन. तो आपने जो कम्युनिकेशन का वर्ड यूज किया है ना, he uses a very powerful term over there, communication to connecting heart to heart, connecting soul to soul, connecting mind to mind.
बिल्कुल, so true, so true. एंड आपने बिल्कुल जनाब सही बात करी. इट्स अ हार्ट टू हार्ट कॉन्वर्सेशन. आप उसको फेक नहीं कर सकते. इट कैन नॉट बी रनिंग दैट वे. इट नीड्स टू बी अ माइंड एंड मसल कनेक्शन. एक टंग है और एक यहाँ पे सॉकेट है. अगर ये फिक्स नहीं हुआ तो बात नहीं बनती. हम करते रहते हैं, बट यहां से नहीं चल रहा होता, या कई बार यहां से चल रहा होता तो यहां से नहीं, यहां से चल रहा होता तो यहां से नहीं. तो इट हैज टू बी अ मसल एंड माइंड कनेक्शन. एक मसल बड़ी अच्छी दी है भगवान ने और एक बड़ा दिमाग बड़ा अच्छा दिया है, बट इट डज नॉट कोइंसाइड टुगेदर समटाइम्स.
Great.
And when you say that communicating heart to heart, and let me double quote and triple quote this, every industry is a people to people industry. Hospitality, aviation, tourism, sales, marketing, HR, it's a people to people industry. AI ले आओ आप 47 तक, कुछ भी ले आओ, you cannot replace humans irrespective of the cause. And we should not be scared of AI. AI should be scared of us because we built it. And ये हवा हटाएं प्लीज कि जॉब खा जाएगा, ये हो जाए, नहीं होएगा, कुछ नहीं होगा. It might reduce the chances, but why do you not want to learn that?
Or maybe the work profile changes. Yeah,
right. I can today use ChatGPT wonderfully to understand what could be some potential styles of a guest who's coming to XYZ hospital, property, or wherever, or a client meeting, and ask him for some wonderful experiences. But मैं आपको बताता हूँ, ChatGPT fails big time. Because it's a computer again. It's a data interpretation. It does not work on human emotions. And game over. मैंने सर बार्सिलोना के एयरपोर्ट पे $100 का परफ्यूम ऐसे खरीदा है. क्यों? Because I felt that perfume makes me look amazing, makes me smell amazing. All about emotions. हम एक मूवी से निकलते हैं और बड़ा मजेदार फील करते हैं, कहते हैं आज मैं रॉक और ऋतिक रोशन जैसा स्मार्ट दिख रहा हूं, या मैं कटरीना कैफ जैसी लग रही हूं, या मैं जी एक उरी जैसी मूवी देख के निकलता हूं तो मैं आर्मी ऑफिसर बन जाता हूं. दैट इज ऑल इमोशंस एंड वी आर सो एंटाइटल्ड. दैट इज हाउ आवर ब्रेन वर्क्स. अगर आप अपने कभी ब्रेन का ऊपर से एक्सरे देखेंगे तो इट वर्क्स इन सर्कल्स. It is a big circle, then a small circle, and between that is all emotions. We हम कहते हैं यार ये मेरा gut decision था. What is a gut decision? Gut decision is all about emotions. मेरे को जी शर्मा सर बहुत अच्छे लगे मेरे को, डॉक्टर शर्मा से प्यार हो गया. I started falling in love with his conversations, and that is gut, that is emotions. You connect heart to heart, people to people, and that is all. Coming to the point where you were asking, sir, what would I say, why are admissions going low? I think we do not market hospitality in the right way sometimes. मैं तो कहता हूँ मेरे को ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बना दो, आई विल मेक श्योर कि हर एक बंदा जो एचआर भी ज्वाइन करना चाहता है अपनी लाइफ में, हॉस्पिटैलिटी का एक कोर्स करके जरूर निकलेगा.
I'm going to make a clip out of it and promote it.
बिल्कुल प्लीज, मैं पक्का गारंटी देता हूँ, और ये मैं स्टैम्प पेपर पर लिख के बोल सकता हूँ, अगर मैंने ट्रेन करा है और मेरी कंपनी ने ट्रेन करा है तो एचआर का बंदा भी हॉस्पिटैलिटी का कोर्स करेगा. और ये
Wonderful.
मैं लिख के और गारंटी के साथ बोलता हूँ, नोटिफाई कर लो, नोटरी के पास बैठ जाओ, क्योंकि वो तो ये भी लिख देता है कि यू आर डेड एंड ही स्टैम्प इट ओवर. डज नॉट मैटर. सो माय ओनली थॉट इज फॉर हॉस्पिटैलिटी प्रोफेशनल्स, प्रमोट इट अमेजिंगली. प्रमोट करो और प्रमोट करो, उसके विन्स एंड फैंसीज दिखाओ कितने अच्छे हैं. इफ यू इवन वांट टू गेट इनटू टेक्नोलॉजी टुमारो, यू नीड टू टॉक टू क्लाइंट समडे. मैंने ऐसे ऐसे कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर्स देखे हैं, वो ज्यादा सारा दिन कोड करते रहते हैं, उसके बाद जब सीनियर बन जाते हैं, दे हैव टू कम्युनिकेट टू देयर क्लाइंट्स, बी अ प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर समडे. व्हाट हैपेंस? What happens? You have to learn the art of communication, you have to learn the art of handling your clients, you have to understand your customer, and that is hospitality. And you are not teaching anyone that. मैं कहता हूँ MBA, BBA, BTech, MTech, MBBS, सब में एक हॉस्पिटैलिटी का करिकुलम डाल दो, चैंपियन निकलेंगे सब. पर राइट करिकुलम भी बहुत जरूरी है, नाम के लिए मत डालना, एक चेक बॉक्स नहीं करना. अगेन, सो दैट इज माय मैसेज फॉर ऑल एंड एवरीवन. और एडमिशंस क्यों कम है? इसी वजह से कम. अच्छे से प्रमोट करो, बहुत बढ़िया एडमिशंस आएंगे.
Great, great. Such a wonderful, such a wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Vikram Kukreja. It was such a pleasure to have you with us. So much of learning from you, so much of vision and knowledge. एक बार वो रिपीट कर दीजिए, आपने जो बड़ा अच्छा बोला कि यहाँ से यहाँ तक का जो इन दोनों के बीच का डिस्टेंस है, उसको मिलाना बहुत जरूरी है. ये क्या सोच रहा है और ये क्या
नाप के
बोल रहा
देखना,
है.
एक हाथ का ही है. कभी सोच के रहिए, एक हाथ का ही है. और वो मम्मी का थप्पड़ पड़ता था ना बचपन में, तो सब कनेक्शन एकदम बढ़िया हो जाता था, और वो एक हाथ का ही है. ये
Lovely,
बड़ा
lovely.
कोऑर्डिनेटेड है और बड़ा by chance, it's a luck by chance, I would say, that the entire connection is almost just a hand. मम्मी का, पंजाबी मम्मी का थप्पड़ भी एक हाथ का ही है ना? एंड दैट इज सो वेल कोऑर्डिनेटेड. और उसके बाद
Yes.
सारी जालियां और सारे, वो कहते हैं, एक कहावत है, माँ बाप दी गालियां दूध घी दी नालियां, पंजाबी में. तो योर पेरेंट्स abuses might also sound like some blessings in disguise, and that is how it works.
Thank you. Thank you. What a pleasure to have you with us in this vision of India Tourism 2047. We wish you all the best and our blessings to you. And we pray to Almighty that Mr. Vikram Kukreja keep shining, keep growing, keep adding value to the humanity further and helping across all the industries, because today there is no difference between hospitality and hospital. There is no difference. Okay.
Well, I would
Both
say
are
MBA and hospitality is also no different. BTech and hospitality is no different.
yeah. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming. And we convey our deep gratitudes and thanks to everybody who all are joining us from abroad. And kindly get in touch with Mr. Vikram. Would you like to give some email or something where people can get across to you, or anything you would like to share?
100%, sir. LinkedIn is an amazing platform. I connected with Dr. Saab today,
Yes.
and we had a wonderful. I was going through Sir's profile, a wonderful profile. So LinkedIn is a global platform. I believe global platform के बाहर थोड़ा निकलना जरूरी है. तो अगर आप दिल्ली NCR में हैं, drop me a message over LinkedIn. I'll be happy to meet. I
Wonderful.
love meeting in person. That is my way of connecting. तो मेरे को लगता है एक डिजिटल वर्ल्ड से निकल के पर्सनली काफी सारी कहानियां बनती हैं, और जो आप
Thank
लिंक्डइन पे पोस्ट करते हैं वो आपके फिजिकल फॉर्मेट का है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, इफ इन केस यू वांट टू ईमेल मी और ईमेल माय टीम, अमेजिंग email to reach at and an easy email to reach at is info at T for Tango, B for Bombay, H for Haryana, C for Circle. So info@tbhcircle.com. That is how
Wow.
we run, and you can always reach out for any queries, any questions. I'm more than happy over LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you feel and want to reach to.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Vikram Kukreja. God bless you. I'm also grateful to Saurabh Bharti, the Assistant Professor Senior Scale at the ITC Welcome Group Graduate School of Hotel Administration, Manipal, who had been very kind to get us connected. And stay blessed and keep shining, keep growing, keep adding value. I'm pretty sure the day is not very far when all the hospitality institutes will be flooded